Alright, hello everyone. So now that we have modeled our paths and we also created the required holes in each path in our previous two video tutorials, and now we'll come back to the properties module later to define the material property of each and every section. And now I just want to assemble my model to see uh, if there was anything that we need to do, particularly considering the dimension that we have, and also the overall model that should look like something like this. So considering that, we will assemble our model, and if there's anything that needs to be changed, we will do that accordingly. Alright, so now we have to come to the assembly module. I've already brought up these things here, but anyways, I'm gonna delete it just to let you guys know how we can bring those section to our models assembly. So yeah, I have all those paths here. What I can do, just delete them, and there will be nothing here in my assembly, and now I can brought them all by choosing the mesh as dependent, which is mesh on part. I want to mesh each and every part separately because there might be some parts that will have a refined mesh and some part will have a coarse mesh. Depends on the stress concentration, and of course you need to do the mesh sensitivity analysis for that to come up with an ideal mesh size that could be used for your research or your report or whatever you're doing. Alright, so we need to do this, and I am going to tick this offside so that I can easily see and choose the options and different paths. I can just play with them around. Alright, so now the things that I need to consider and I need to remember is that this plate is my upper plate, which should be this upper plate, and the lower plate is my this plate, and then I have the base plate. It should be horizontally in X direction, and these two plates should be in Y direction, and the bolts that I have should be placed in those holes. Alright, so these are the things that I have for now, and let's just start assembling them. Okay, first thing first, we will assemble the bigger parts here, like the base plate and then these two plates, and then after that we can do the assembling the rest of the sections. Alright, so the first thing is that I need to rotate the base plate by clicking on this icon, this, turn, select an axis. So this is my first point and this is my second point, and rotate it 90-degree. Yep, so I've rotated in this position, and I need to rotate in that direction as well. So just choose this point and this point and press int. Oops, nope, no, not something like that. I don't want it. Okay, it's always better to try to make a good view for yourself and then try to rotate this oops, this point, and then this point. Angle of rotation is 90-degree. Nope, I don't want that rotation. I already did that. So sometimes you need to play with them a couple of things, like for example, if I can choose probably this point and this point, it might be, yeah, this is something that I want. I just want to be in this direction. Alright, so I also need to rotate these two plates. I can choose this, turn, and so what I can do is, let's see, like this, and then this point, press enter. Yep, that's what I want. I'll just let's say just translate this instant to bottom so that it does not bother me. I'll bring it later. So yeah, now it looks better so that it could be, you know, later assembled. Alright, so this is my top plate. So I need to move, I need to rotate this as well. This and this one, angle of rotation is 90, yes. And there we go. Alright. Yeah. So now what I can do is I need to translate this plate on top of this and this plate at the bottom of this thing, this section. So let's just do that. Alright, so yeah, I might need to rotate it in this way, because if you take a look at the if you take a look at the dimensions that I have here, so the spacing between these two holes is 76, and the same we have 76 here, so the whole spacing might be 76, which means I need to place this plate in this direction like this, and this plate should be beneath that. Alright, so it should not be a problem at all we need to do is just rotate this thing, turn, dip, and this. Let me see. Yep. Okay. Do I and okay. Yep. So this plate is now gonna. We can just put it there. What I can do, I just want to translate this from this point to my 0 0 axis, so that I can easily track things in a you know, good way or something. Alright, so I'm kind of having some feelings that these two holes in my angles are not perfect. I may need to check those dimension. It has to be 76 mm, but okay, let's do that first, because if you set up your model, meshed it, and after that you change anything, the mesh and everything will be deleted, the loading protocols that you have applied, or any instances, the interaction that you define, so everything will be deleted. So it is always better to do the meshing, the interaction, and all this stuff at a later stage. But first, just come up with the accurate dimension and accurate everything. Okay, it should be the angle, and this has to be, yep, extrude cut. I can just come to the section. All right, so this I put it here as a 128, which should be 76 actually. This dimensioning tool from here, oops, to here, it should be 76. Okay, I might need to delete those first. Yes, I do have to. Anyways, we can do some calculations here. So the total dimension I have is 180, and I've also received the dimensioning for this thing, which is 102 mm. So I can also, let me just first change the length, the overall length of this thing, and then we can just continue with this thing. Or anyways, we can do either, like first this and then that, it doesn't matter. Just delete this and turn, and just So let me just delete this dimension as well. So first thing first, it should be 76 between these two, and done. Let me just do it for here. Okay, one important thing, whenever you update any section, so you can see a tick mark, but it's not updated here. So we'll do that in a minute. Probably I need to just, even you can do right now, for example, click this, left click on this, sorry, your basic model, left click on it, and you will find the option for the uh, generation or regenerator. When we do that, we will go through that as well. But anyways, let me just, so the sections. So I have actually, this has to be 76. Oops, sorry. It's done. This is done. So this has to be 76, and even this is not 10 mm. This is just this is 6.4 mm. I'm following the standard dimensions for the. This is 76 mm. The second one is also 76 mm, and the thickness is 6.4, and so is this 6.4. Alright, there you go, and done. And okay, so the feature has not been regenerated. To regenerate, select feature and regenerate. Okay, so select the feature and then regenerate. So that's why it's asking you that the feature has not been. So you can just select the feature and regenerate, so it will be regenerated. But obviously we have to edit the dimension of lengthwise, which is 180 already, but we have it like at 102 mm, and we also need to change the dimensioning of the holes as well, but we'll do that in a minute. Alright, so the next thing is that I have this, I want to edit the length, but I can't edit it from the section. So what I can do, why I can edit, because that was the third dimensions. So in the section you only have two dimensions, right? So third dimension can be edited from here, edit feature, select the feature. I want this, so it's 180 in depth, I want it to be 102. Apply, and okay. Alright, so I was playing with those dimensions, but anyways, we'll leave it for now. It's too, that's the problem when you do not have clear plan for your dimensions and stuff. 50.75. okay, so now I'm just gonna delete this. So the distance from delete it from here to here, it's around 50.75, and should be the same for this one. I just want to bring this in the middle of this section, so that is 50.75. and now, so the total dimension that I have is 160, right? And if you take out 76 out of 160, it leaves 84 divided 84, and we divide that by 2, so 42. It should be 42 from top to this, and also should be 82 from, or what I can do is just I can dimension this as 76. I should bring this back to point, and I can always check this distance between. Okay, should be easy to. Okay, done. And okay, I need to regenerate the feature. I also need to do the same with the other, this section as well. Just delete a couple of dimension that I have, and also should be, what was that, 50.75, right? And also 50.75, and from here to here should be 42, and the distance between these two should be 76. That should bring it to the center, but again I need to regenerate the feature. We will see if there is still some problem. We will fix it. Alright, so now I'd like to move things, to translate different things. Like I want to translate this plate from here all the way to here. Okay, and press done. Let me just quickly take a look. Yep, it looks fine. Alright, so there is one important thing here. Before doing this translation and stuff, you should also plan for the interaction that you may encounter. For example, does this surface, I mean, let me just show you. Okay, let me translate this from here to any point here. Okay, just before doing the translation, because at any point either you have to suppress that section to define the surface spot interaction, or you have to translate it again, so that will be a hectic work. So just to avoid that, all you can do is, like, you can choose this surface. For example, in our case, there is no contact between the bottom of this plate and here plate. These two will be connected to the bolted connection. Yes, we do have welded connection here at the bottom with this bottom plate, but that's for later. But anyway, that's just a general suggestion that you could always define interaction surfaces at this stage when your model is scrambled. But the point is that you need to know the exact thing, the exact location and exact stuff. You might need to create some, instances, create some surfaces for your interaction. But anyways, let's proceed. And once again, this point, I want this to be exactly in center, so that's how you should also do that the same, and also translate this from. All right, yes, okay, because now we have a welded connection here, so I need to have entirely separate part for that. So that's why I have to first remove this to this point, and done. Alright, so now I need to create weld at this section and this section. Alright, so what I can do, okay, done. So what I can do, I can either use options like the I need to, the welding can only be done when these two parts are single, I mean just a one part. Alright, so to do that, all I need is to, okay, just let quickly remove this. Let's try to clear your things, like, so that this thing does not interrupt. Alright, so now it's more visible and clear. So I need to choose this merge and cut instant. I can rename it like base or lower plate weld. So you need to choose the merge, geometry, suppress and remove. Do not delete the original instant, because you might need sometime, you might need them. And then the interaction boundaries should be removed, not retained, and press continue. So select the instant, then you want I want this and I want this, but you have to press shift to select multiple instant, and then press also look for these two things. These two will be suppressed when I click done. So when I click done, you can see my base plate and lower path is suppressed, and there exists a new instant which is called the lower weld plate. Okay, so if I want to, let's say, just want to show you that now it's act as a single part. Let's say if I want to move it, translate, so select, if I want to select, so it will be selected as one instant. So that was our, but anyways, at any point, for example, if you want to delete this, suppress it or whatever, suppress it, so you will always have those two as a separate parts available for you. The first one will be separate, the second will be separate. This is a separate and this is a separate. So, but anyways, I don't want them, so just suppress them and I'll resume my part. Alright, so now once again, because it is a welded connection, I need to come back to the part module, and from this I need to choose, okay, so there is no this thing here, part, yep. Alright, so I have in my parts, I have a new part which is lower plate weld. So now you can see it is a single part, right? So what I can do, just simply click this icon here. It is alright. So the point here is, why do we have to merge this and make it as a one part? Because for the welded connection, the weld in Abaqus can only be done in the part module. So you need to have all your model where you have weld as a single part, and after that you can do the welding. And yeah, so just click this, create round and fillet weld, select individual edges, yes, select the edges. So the first is this edge, and I would like to rotate it, press shift, and then this edge, and done. Will ask you for the radius, so the 6 mm or 8 mm, 10 mm, whatever your radius is for the weld, it depends on your dimension and things. So that's it. I might need to change this weld size. How can I change this? Within this and edit, it will pop up. I'm going to make it as a 10 meter, and okay. So now I have this part, and there will be a welded connection between these two, as you can see here. Alright, that's one way to do that, to design or model a weld. But because we already merged that part, so this will act as a single part anyway, there was no need for the weld. But we didn't do that for this part. We did to get the welded section itself. And how can we extract only the welded section itself? We will still use this part and this part, and not this entire as a single part. Alright, so to do that, within the assembly, I need to click here again. Now I can only rename it like weld or lower plate or something like that, just to be distinguished from that. Now I need to not merge but cut the geometry, and press enter. Select the instances to be cut. I want this instant to be cut out, and select the instant that will make it. Oh no, probably I need to select. Alright, it's just okay. I'm gonna name it weld. So select the instances that okay, my bad. So to do that, I need to resume those on top of that. So now I have each plate on top of other plate, but I only need the weld. So to extract the weld, that's very tricky part here. So press the geometric. So select the instance to be cut. I want this instant to be cut. Done. Select the instant that will make the cut. Alright. I want this and this instant to make the cut. Done. See, the magic happens. So it will give you only the weld itself. Now this is the weld. I can even assign a different material properties to my welded portion. So that's now entirely up to you. Alright, so I really don't need this lower plate weld anymore, so I can just simply delete that. And if you want to keep that, you can keep it, and I can really bring back my those two portions. So now what I did, this is a separate portion, this is a separate portion, and the weld is entirely a separate portion. That's how we can do that. But I'm gonna quickly wrap up my assembly. It's done. I need to check whether everything is in order. Okay. Alright, the last thing I would like to do, I also need to replicate, have another of this, because we need two of them. Probably, yep, or maybe this one in the other direction. So yeah, I can flip it in that direction, whatever you want. Okay, so now I have two of those, and what I can do is this. Done. Alright, so what I can do is to take this central axis and put it right on maybe not this one. Alright, so I need to the bottom, I need to take this one. If I'm not sure, is that the bottom one? Yes, it is. Oops, where it is there. Okay, be very careful with those points when you're, yep, this is the bottom point of this plate, and I want this to be placed exactly here. And now I can see whether the dimensioning of my, yeah, it is clearly not okay. I need to, but anyways, we'll do that in a moment. But the thing is that, alright, so the overall dimensioning of these two sides seems to be okay, and also this side as well, but I only need to change the overall width. I just want to make sure how much. Okay, so I need to bring this line exactly to here. There are a couple of ways, like you can just tool query distance between any two points or point in nodes. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to check the distance between the, on x-axis, the distance between this point and this point. So that's the distance that I have, but it's not exactly the straight, so I need to check it in terms of point. So this is now, so the x-axis is 152.5 and this one has the x-axis of 254.75. so what I can do, 254.75 subtracted from 152.5, it will give me 102.25, which means let me note that 102.25, which means the plate should have the total of length of 102.25, and done. I might need to change everything again with this thing. That's why you should have all your dimensions ready before proceeding with it. So this thing and this thing, it should be 102 point, just 102, and done. And same as this should be 102, done. And that's it, and done. Just regenerate the feature. I'm not sure whether do I have to change my bolts or as well holes for the bolts, but anyway, we'll take a look at that in a moment. Alright, so now I've changed it, so I need to just remove it from here just to clearly have an idea where exactly do I need to put it. So again, choose this translate option, select this instances, done. So okay, it really seems to be this point. The bottom point should be exactly on the top point of this hole. Press done. So now it seems to be alright from this side, but not the other side. So again, I have to change those dimensions for the holes, these holes. Yeah. So we'll see how does that works for us. By the way, it should be 38 mm if I'm not wrong, and we might need to check that. Alright, the video is already half an hour. I just want to quickly wrap things up. I'll deal with those hole sizes and stuff in the next video, but let me just quickly, I need this to be rotated exactly, I'm not sure. Alright, so what I can do, instead of 90 I can choose 180, so it will be exactly what I wanted. Just translate this instant and choose this point here, and I'm just doing it randomly so that you can get an idea of the overall model that we have. Press OK. So the final thing that we need to do is to insert those bolts. Just I'm gonna quickly also, you need to rotate those bolts as well. Alright, so what I can do is not quite sure about this, but let's try this point and this point. Angle of rotation is 90. Is that something that no, it's not something I want. It's inclined. And again, dip. Alright. Oops. Here, 10. Alright, so what we can do, we can choose any other reference point, by the way, it doesn't matter. Like this point and probably this point. Let me see. On once again, it's inclined. I don't want that. Sometimes if the geometry is tricky, that thing really need to be, seems to be kind of tricky as well. But anyways, let me just translate it from here, this point to here. Okay, and now I might be able to just rotate it easily. So rotate this, turn, rotate this point comparatively to this angle 9. Why is always inclined? Okay, let me try another point. This, so probably that point compared to this. Alright, now we are getting somewhere, but I don't want that. So I want this to this. Okay, so I want, alright, so alright, come on, this point compared to this. Yep, that's what I want. Alright, so now that I've successfully rotated the bolts, I need 1 2 3 4 5 6 bolts. I'm just showing you how we can just, this the one we can easily use this option to replicate for the more bolts, and yeah, just do whatever you want. Like, yeah, right, not these 6 probably, and you can always change this to like 50 something to just, and you can flip it to other direction to make sure that you have everything, or even you can just set one bolt and then give the dimension so that it exactly flips for the other 4 in the exact same dimension in the exact same direction. For example, all you need to do, in fact, let's just try that one. Okay, I'm going to translate this. So now how does this thing should look? Okay, that's important. That is important. If I'm not wrong, this seems to be the center point of this pole, and this center point can be this point here. Let's just press OK and see. Oh no, it's not exactly what we wanted. So we wanted this to be, or in fact we are not sure whether the thickness of the bolt is equal to the thickness of these two plates. Perhaps this is accurate, but the thickness of these plates need to be changed. I'm kind of having feeling that I might have this thickness wrong. I need to check it again. Probably this is not 6, this is 10 mm thickness, so that will make this bolt to be accurate. Alright, so that's it. And the other thing you can do is just click on this, just check the distance between these two. I think it was 128 if I'm not wrong. So what I can do is just this, and I don't want, okay, I want this one, not this one, and I can lift it. I'm not sure whether it was 120. Okay, yeah, it seems to, so it 128, it will bring it directly to the location that you want, and you can just press as okay. And the next thing, again, you can just choose this control, press the control, and press shift, choose this, and then choose this, and then it will be more easy for you to create the other dimension. So now I don't want this. Okay, I don't want that to be on the top, I want that to be on Z direction. So what I can do is choose the direction Z, but I don't want in this, I want this to be in the other direction. Lift that, so it will give you the exact, but you need to know the exact location. So it might be 76 if I'm not wrong. Yep, so that bring it will exactly at the location that you want Alright, and done. So that's the overall look of our model. There are still a lot of things need to be done in this regarding the dimensions and other things, but that's how our model should look like. Alright, that's all. See you in the next video.